Welcome to Align Christ-Centered Yoga. My name is Linda, and I'll be guiding our practice today. When I say the word perseverance, what is your response to that? I'm starting to read the Bible chronologically through again, and I'm in Genesis, and I'm reading the story of Noah. And as Noah has been patient through all of these years, building the ark before it ever rained, staying in the ark as the earth was flooded, waiting for the dove to come back with evidence of a new earth, he finally has that opportunity to leave the boat, right? By the first day of the first month of Noah's 601st year, the water had dried up from the earth. Noah then removed the covering from the ark and saw that the surface of the ground was dry. And by the 27th day of the second month, the earth was completely dry. And God told Noah to go forth. But what did he go forth into? The world was nothing like it had been when he had left it. The villages were gone. His friends were gone. We all know what it's like to clean up after a bad storm. He had to start again from nothing in order to create the new order that God had ordained. Today, as we practice, I would invite you to consider perseverance. Are you ready to give all that it takes in order to experience and enjoy all of the new things that God has for you? Come to a sitting position, elevating your hips up on a block or a blanket if you have one, just to help you release through the hips a little bit more. Just cross the legs comfortably in front of you or draw them behind. And find your sitting bones, maybe moving the flesh away from the bones, anchoring in. And closing your eyes. Just let the day fade away. Let go of all of the to-do lists. Give yourself permission to set aside thoughts that distract, to be very focused and on point today. Begin to find your breath, noticing the way that it moves through your body. Today's practice will focus on twisting. So give yourself permission to modify, to work within your own range of motion, but also to let go of any resistance you have to hard work. Any tendencies, and I speak so much for myself here, towards laziness. Breathe a little more deeply. A little more fully and three-dimensionally. As you inhale, find a little more length in the spine, creating space between each of the vertebrae as you inhale down the body. As you exhale, find that strength and support, lifting the pelvic floor, drawing the navel into the spine, emptying the lungs. Take another 2 breaths here, just noticing the way that the body moves with your breath. Let the hands come down to your side and beginning to connect breath and movement. Let the arms rise up and overhead, and exhaling, let the hands come towards the mat. And as you lift up with breath, push up from underneath those arms and pull down with the muscles of the side of the body. And 2 more breaths here. Can you set the movement to the pace of your breath? And the next inhale as the arms rise. Exhale, draw the belly in and gently twist towards the right. And then again, let the arms rise high. And exhale and twist the other direction. So right now, can you just find a soft and easy twist? No strains. Just acknowledging where there is tension, where you may want to be a little more careful as you continue through the practice. And the next time you come to the right, stay there. Gently press into the mat with those fingers behind you. Press into the leg with the back of your hand in front. Where does your gaze fall? Taking a deep breath in, come back to center. Reach all the way up, bring the hands out to the side. Can you find cat, drawing the belly in, rounding the back? And then inhaling, palms pressing towards the back, those hands just a little lower than the shoulders. Open up into cow. Back and forth here, cat to cow. And one more time. As you're ready, let the arms rise up again and find as much length as you possibly can, and then exhale into the twist to the other side. So now that left hand pressing gently into the floor behind you, that right hand finding traction. Where does the gaze fall on this side? Coming back to center again, the arms out to the side. Cat to cow twice more. Taking a deep breath in, arms rise, palms together, and exhaling, hands to heart, closing your eyes. Perseverance. Where in your life are you being called to persevere in the moment? What is your natural response to that? Can you frame that in a positive way, looking forward to all of the accomplishments of the future? Let the hands come down. Take any props that you have, bring them towards the front of the mat. Go ahead and let those legs come out to the side. Opening up in a straddle, find the sitting bones again. Flexing the feet, begin to draw strength into the legs. Just bend and straighten the legs a couple of times here. Take hands to hip crease, engaging through the abdominals, fold forward. Just go to wherever is most comfortable for you. So the tiniest bit of tension, maybe it's in your hamstrings or your back or your hips or your neck. No struggle. Breathe deeply. Pressing into the hands, come up. Go ahead and bring that left foot to the inside of your leg. And again, just really activate this right leg. Come forward and back a couple of times. It's warming up through the back. Noticing any sensations in the hamstring, bending that leg if that's more comfortable. And then just coming forward. And cross your wrists and notice which hand crosses over. Which hand is on top? What happens if you draw the navel in? Can you walk the hips back a half an inch? Working within your own limits, maybe drawing the elbows towards the body and letting the head relax. Back of the head reaching towards the leg. Pressing into your hands, rise up and go to the other side. Again, finding the sitting bones, coming forward and back a few times. One more, still connected to breath. Hinging forward at that hip, coming forward. Bringing the other hand on top this time. Maybe you're holding closer to your thighs or your shin, it doesn't matter. Find the stretch. Walk the hip back. Engage the abdominals. Draw elbows in towards ribs. Gently press into the hands and come up. Bring those legs wide. Find the sitting bones again. Bring the legs in just a little bit. Cross the arms. Hands come to the thighs. And then hinge forward at the hips as those hands reach further down the leg, just to wherever they go. Again, activating the muscles of the leg. Let the head come down. Where do you feel the stretch here? Hold on with that left hand, reach that right arm all the way up, and then come under the other arm to find the twist. Hold on with the right hand, bring that left arm up, and come underneath. And cross the arms in front of you. Again, just right arm lifts, comes under that left arm, stay for a breath. Left arm lifts, under the other arm. I think I have my left and right mixed up. Just stay here for a breath. And one more time, each direction. Settling at center for a breath in between. Let the hands come to center. Maybe walk those legs out a little further into dragonfly again. A wider straddle. And pressing into your hands, come up. Go ahead and bend that front leg forward. Come forward into kneeling table. So you are on your knees and your wrists. Press through the tops of your feet to take a little weight off the knees. Engage through the abdominals to take a little weight out of the wrists. Exhale into cat. Inhale into cow. Back and forth here. And one more time. How connected to the ground do you feel as the body rises? How much can you open across the shoulders as you come into cow? Meet me back at table. Bring the hands forward, one handprint, draw all the way back into child. Let the forearms get heavy. Pressing into the hands again, curl the toes under, draw knees up into rib cage, let the head drop, shake your head out no and yes, and begin to pedal into downward facing dog. Taking a deep breath in, heels rise. Exhaling, heels dropping towards the mat. Let's begin to draw the hip creases above towards where the ceiling meets the wall. Fingers reaching forward, shoulder blades gliding wide. Press into your left foot, raise your right leg high, drawing the gaze forward, bring the foot all the way through your hands, and begin to gently drop that back knee down and up. So opening up through the hip here, just exploring the tightness in the psoas muscle. And as you're ready, let that back knee drop down. And imagine the hips scooping under just a bit like a light, like an ice cream scoop, as that back hip draws slightly forward. Draw the front hip crease slightly back. From here, take the hands to the thigh. Go ahead and rise up, pressing shoulders back. And then take that right hand to the small of your back, bring that left arm across and find traction and a twist. Are the shoulders crunching towards your ears? Can you drop them a little more? Go ahead and release, hands to either side of the foot. Extend the back leg up to the sky. Bring the front foot to the back. Find a strong plank. And from plank, drop to your knees and come down to the mat. Kneeling plank and arms wide. Find Sphinx pose as the fingers also spread wide. And gently glide up. Pressing down with your feet. Engaging through the muscles of the thighs. One more time, find Sphinx pose. Feel the connection to the earth. Imagine roots growing down from your forearms and your feet. Can you find breadth and openness and freedom across the chest? Exhaling, hands come back to the rib cage, draw the elbows in towards each other. Come through table and back into downward facing dog. Check in, find your breath. On the next inhale, the left leg rises high. And as the gaze comes forward, again, that foot just softly floats through and the back knee drops and lifts. Again, noticing what is going on in this hip. This psoas muscle connects from the thigh all the way up into the body. And any kind of forward motion, running, cycling, sitting, causes it to tighten. So just really lengthening here. Again, imagining that ice cream scoop as that right hip now softly draws under as that left hip crease draws back just a bit. Hands to thighs, rise up. Shoulders over hips, abdominals engaged. Left hand comes to the small of the back. Right arm comes across. Create that traction with the hand and the leg. And look back. One more breath here. Exhaling, release, hands to either side of that foot. This time the back foot hops up towards the front foot, knees deeply bent. Fold into your forward fold, hold on to those elbows. How much length can you find in the spine? Gently let the upper body glide side to side. And then hands on the mat. Actually take the hands from one heel around to the other and maybe begin to straighten out the legs a little bit more. Find that release in the back. And as you're ready to settle at center, and notice where your forward fold begins today. How straight are the legs? Where do you feel the most tightness? The most tension? Pressing into the feet. Go ahead and raise that body up halfway. Nice long spine. Head is in alignment with the spine. Exhale down. Bring the hands forward. If it works for you, we're working our way into chair pose. Bring the heels up as the hips drop. Hands come just behind the toes. Press heavy into your feet. Draw the body up. Chair pose. So as you sink into chair pose, the navel draws in. And let's find a high twist here. Right hand to the small of the back. Reach up, 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 up with that left arm. And then come across. Left hand to the thigh, pressing as you find twist. How does this twist feel different than the twist that you just did when you were in lunge? Exhale, hands to heart. Bring them all the way down in between your feet. Rise up. Bring those arms wide into mountain pose. Settle into mountain pose for a breath. One more breath here. Hands come down. Go ahead and sink into chair. Can you recreate the sensations you had rising into chair? Can you find that same chair pose sinking into chair? Left hand to the small of the back. Right arm comes across. Find twist. Find breath. Hands to heart, come all the way down, all the way up. One more time. This time maybe a little bit more of a back bend. Gaze coming towards the sky, shoulder blades gliding down the back. Navel into the spine, support with those abdominal muscles. And exhale and find your forward fold. Hands to shins, rise up halfway, exhale down, one leg back and then the other, find plank. And decide which vinyasa, which flow is best for you. Maybe you're coming down in a kneeling plank or a grasshopper. Maybe it's chaturanga and upward facing dog. Wherever you are, come back to downward facing dog. Go ahead and walk your right hand to the center of the mat, center, and bring that left arm across your right leg, gentle twist here. Notice, your legs bent, or your heels touching. Find the pose that works best for you. Release. Switch hands. So now my left hand is in the center of the mat, and my right arm is reaching across. Draw hands all the way back to feet. At the back of your mat, find forward fold. Hands to shins, rise up halfway, exhale down. Pushing through the tops of the feet, come all the way up, mountain pose, arms wide. Make it strong and straight, so no back bend here. Pressing at the base of the big toe, the little toe, the heel. Lift the toes. What can you feel in the rest of your body when those toes rise? Let the toes come down. Hands to heart. Stepping into the left foot, bring that right foot all the way forward. Find your lunge. Arms rise high. Exhale, hands down to either side of the foot. Press into that left hand. Raise that right arm up. Twisting towards the front of that leg, the inside edge of the front leg. Palms to the towards your head. Reach overhead towards the front of your mat. And just make a big circle, reaching the arm all the way up and around again. Foot comes to the back, find plank. From plank, come down, find your flow. Curl the toes under, meet me in downward facing dog. Gently walk the hands back to your feet. Find forward fold again. Shake your head out no and yes. Hands to shins, rise up halfway, exhaling down. Meet me in mountain. Stay in mountain for a breath. And this time as you push down with the feet, as you engage the abdominals, find your back bend. How open are you to rebuilding, to renewal, to the hard work of transformation? Exhale, hands to heart. Stepping into the right foot, lunge the left foot forward. Bring those hands up, find your strong lunge. Exhale, hands down to either side of the foot. Pressing into the right hand, sweep that left arm up. And find your twist here. Imagine each of those sitting bones drawing in towards each other, the inner thighs drawing in towards the center of the mat. Palm facing the front of the mat, bring that arm all the way over, reaching, reaching, reaching. And exhale and release down. If you have a prop block, bring it with you. Face the wide edge of your mat and bring the block in front. Turn it into a tower. Toes are facing forward, even with each other. Go ahead and bring your, let's just find a forward fold here first. So move the block to the side. Changed my mind. Bring your hands forward. Find a downward facing dog back as you really press strongly into those feet. Then walk the hands back. Now bring that block as a tower right at the center. Take your left fingertips, turning towards your right foot. So my hand is turning back towards my foot. Nice straight back, engage the abdominals. Sweep that right arm up, find your twist, and come back. Can you stabilize the hips as you do this? One more time. Stay here. You're in the twist. Turn the palm towards me, towards the side edge of your mat in the front, and gently bring that arm overhead again. Are the hips still stable? Is the weight in the feet even? Go ahead and bring that arm all the way around and back to center. Move the block, bring the hands forward, find that downward facing dog back again. And then bring the hands underneath and find more of a wide leg forward fold. Bring the block back to center. Same thing on the other side. So now my right fingertips are reaching towards the center. Wrist underneath shoulder. Engaging the abdominals. Twist up with that left arm. And back to center. So just back and forth here. Pressing into the feet. Keeping the hips stable. This is an upper body twist. One more time. Come all the way up. Turn the palm towards your head. Bring the arm over the ear. And you draw the shoulder blade back towards the hip. Navel into the spine. And just raise that arm back up and bring it down. So moving the block towards the front of the mat. Come into this wide leg forward fold again. And gently pivot towards the front of the mat. Bring the back foot up to meet the front. Forward fold here. And how is this forward fold different? What do you feel that is different when the legs are narrow rather than wide? And my feet are still hip width apart. Hands to shins, come up halfway. Bring the hands forward as you come down, lift the heels. Drop hips to heels. Hands come back behind the pinky toe. Go ahead and press into your feet. Rise up into chair. And find this strong chair pose again. Find the work in it. Can you feel the work in the front of the shins and the anterior tibialis? Can you feel the work in the quadriceps? Find a twist, maybe lower this time. So if you're going low, hands to hearts, hand forward at the hips. Make sure those knees stay even as you find that upper body twist. Outside of the arm comes to the outside of the leg. And as you press your hands together, engage the muscles of the upper back as well. As you're ready, release, come back to center. Come into chair, hands to heart. Stepping into that right foot, float the left. And meet me in warrior 3. Flex that foot, push it back towards the wall behind you. Bring the head forward. Maybe those arms are behind you in the hips in airplane. More balance if they're out to the side. Maybe they're forward. And then bring that back foot to the front. Arms rise up in mountain pose. This time, hands come down, interlace the fingers behind you. Find your back bend from here. Taking a deep breath in, arms rise high, palms together. Exhaling, forward fold. Maybe really release that upper body again, going side to side. And settle into forward fold for one more breath. Walk your hands a little bit forward, lift your heels as you curl your toes and drop hips to heels. Hands come back again, finding chair pose. Press into the feet, let the body rise. Hands to heart. Find the twist that's right for you. Spine is in neutral position here. Finding the work in the front of the body. Hinge at the hips. Gently find the twist that's right for you. Outside of that arm, connecting to the outside of the leg. Again, knees even. So make sure that this outside leg, that your right knee is not coming in front of the left. As you're ready, come back to center. Bring hands to heart as you come back into chair. Press into that left foot. Right foot flexes, right leg lifts. Presses back into warrior 3. Maybe you straighten out that front leg now. Again, where are your arms? Are they down at your hips, out to the side? Are they forward? And then just float that back leg forward. Rise into mountain. Let the arms come out wide. Find your back bend here. And then exhaling, forward fold, extending through the spine, coming all the way down. Stay in forward fold for 2 breaths. Hands to shins, rise up halfway, exhale down, find a plank. And from plank, come all the way down to the mat. Let's find a low cobra. And tent your fingers and draw your elbows in and let your shoulders come back. And engage through the abdominals, again, really opening up across shoulder to shoulder here. Finding the work in those supporting muscles of the erector spinae in the lower back. Exhale down and meet me in table. And find neutral position of the spine, but find a strong table here too. feeling the foundation underneath you. And exhale as the hips come back, and find child to table twice. And stay in table and turn your right fingertips in and bring your left arms up and thread the needle as you come under. And do that twice more. So often I teach this at the beginning of the practice, but today entering in it a little bit later, you may be finding different sensations. A little warmer now. We've been doing some twisting. Let the shoulder and the head come down and press through the tops of your feet. And let that right arm rise up. And maybe the hand comes to the small of the back or into the bind. And, if you want that extra, maybe that right leg extends and lifts. Just find the twist. How balanced are you? Exhaling, bring the knee back, unwind. Come to table, take a breath in table. And then one time, child to table. And we'll twist in the other direction. So now the left fingertips turn in, the right arm reaches up. Thread the needle underneath, back and forth a couple of times, checking in. Can you drive the movement from the oblique muscles? Those crisscross muscles of the abdominals. Wrapping around the spine, drop the shoulder and the head. And find your twist. So again, with breath, stacking shoulders, pressing through the feet. Finding whatever manifestation of this pose is best for you. And maybe the challenge is that left leg comes back and rises. And bring the leg down and unwind. One more time in table, exhaling to child. Stay in child for 3 breaths. And what is your response when your life has been upended and you need to begin the hard work of making it new? Press into your hands and rise. Go ahead and bring those legs in front of you. So legs extended. Find the sitting bones and bounce your knees a couple of times. And then go ahead and bend your right leg, just bringing the foot just in front of that knee there. So it's right next to my calf. And I'm going to activate the muscles of my extended leg. Bring the arm all the way up. Take your left hand in between and just press into the floor and cartwheel your right arm around and then twist. And let the shoulders drop. And I'm twisting towards the inside of that lifted leg. And release and come center. Bend both legs, hands to the front of the shins. Exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. And release. And extend the other leg. So I'm going to take my right hand in between the legs, raise my left arm up, cartwheel it back, and then pressing into the floor with my arms, engaging the abdominals, gently find your twist. Depending on the length of your arms, maybe you're up on your fist or your fingertips, or maybe if your arms are very long, your palms are flat. And release. And one more time, bending the knees, hands to shins, cat to cow. Come down all the way onto your back with those legs still bent. Hands to knees, feet off the ground. Begin to gently bring the knees into the rib cage and away, back and forth here. And bring the feet down and the hands to your side. And extend the legs. Windshield wiper your feet a little bit. Bounce your knees. Bring your hands all the way up towards the ceiling and reach as high as you can and just let those shoulders thump down and do that twice more. And hands come all the way down to the hips, palms up. Find breath. So as you settle into Shavasana today, imagine devastation in front of you. Noah as he sees the earth in its post-flood state. And then see all of the hope and the mystery, all of the promise of everything that will be made new. So in Noah's life, a brand new home, new vegetation, fully restored, beautiful weather, peace where there was no peace before. What is the Holy Spirit showing you in your future? Gently begin to bring movement back, wiggling fingers and toes, rotating wrists and ankles, maybe turning your head side to side. Taking a deep breath in, let those arms rise up and overhead, stretching as long as you can. And bending knees, roll over onto your side and stay here for a breath, supporting your arm with your head, supporting your head with your arm. Pressing into your hands, rise up to sitting, eyes still closed. And find that seated pose again. Just settle in and check in, body, mind, and spirit, noticing what has changed since you came to the mat today, noticing what has stayed the same. Taking a deep breath in, arms rise high, palms together. Exhaling, hands to heart, bowing your head. Holy God, all-knowing God, help us to see with your eyes and with your heart. Give us the strength and the courage and the patience and the perseverance we need to bring your kingdom near. Flow through us. Empower as we encourage others. And as we move forward into the future that you have for us. It is in the name of Jesus the Christ that we pray. Amen. Thank you for sharing your practice with me today.